Yo, 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 yo. This is Strawberry Jams Podcast. I'm your host, Monday Sauce, and we are back again to another episode of the Strawberry Jams Podcast. All right, so let's do this, man. It's kind of chilly right now. It's raining in Los Angeles, California, and it's exactly February 1st right now. Um, January just finished, and we are moving fast on this 2024. But January for me was really good. It was really awesome. A lot of things happened. A lot of travels. My network became really fast, really good. A lot of memories. Yeah, 2023 was a year for me, and now the start of my 2024 is really great. So I hope it maintains, it maintains the fire, the momentum of this 2024. But anyways, let's get to it. So in this episode, I will discuss about what I've learned driving alone for 7 hours, man. So what I realized, what's the experience like. So basically, I drove I drove from Los Angeles, California, from Irvine to be exact. That's far. To San Francisco. Um, I was supposed to, like fly out there with a friend of mine to, she never been to San Francisco and she wanted to, experience it, and she hit me up, what, hey, let's experience San Francisco. And I told her we needed a car, whatever. So basically, like, fast forward, the deal was okay. She'll handle the hotels, I'll handle the car. So but I was, I wanted to, like, fly out because it's only like an hour and a half. But you know what? Like, driving is like gonna be experience for me, because usually I drive with someone all the time, unless going to work, of course, But going to work is like, it just takes you an hour and a half, or whatever, or 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Go to the groceries, whatever. But a long drive, I never ever in my whole life like drive that super long and just alone. And it was always in the back of my mind that I wanted to, like, drive that long. It's the same thing as, like, people want to go to the movies alone and, see how it feels like, see how it is, like, having alone time. But driving alone is different, man, because it's really a long drive and you need to be awake, nobody's talking to you. And but I've learned a lot. It seems like I had a lot of realizations, a lot of, like, clarity. The experience was nice. I learned a lot. It's like when I finished that drive, I felt really good, and I felt like it was really a good feeling, man. But anyway, so yeah. So basically, I started driving from Irvine to, to my house, Cerritos. If you are in California, you can look that up. Just put Irvine, California to Cerritos. And then from Cerritos, Norwalk area, I drove just straight up to San Francisco, man. And that was like around, like, the time frames, like around maybe because I left at 4, traffic, got a Cerritos around Cerritos Norwalk area at 5, grab my stuff at my house and everything, make sure everything's good, my dog's good, everything's good, and I start driving, man. So basically, this is what I've observed and this is what I've experienced. So the first like maybe an hour or 2 hours drive. It's just like going to San Diego, right? I've drove San Diego 2 hours alone, so I was just with the benefit of driving alone is like you can blast your music, man. Like you can like do whatever you want. Like you can your playlists, your whatever it was. So my music was blasting out loud. And a fun fact, like I love a lot of music. Music is life for me. And how do you say this? I don't want to say I'm an album listener, but I do that. Like I really listen to albums. Like I don't skip, because there's an art to it. If you are not an album listener, you will if you will like don't try it. Try it. That's why I don't like people when like they like freaking like, oh, the album sucks, or like they just skip songs, and that's normal. A lot of people do that. They skip the songs, but like the people that are album listeners, like they really finish it. Because before I wasn't like that. Usually, like if I don't like the song from the beginning, for the jump, the beat, or whatever, I just skip it. But I think I've learned it. I've listened it into a podcast, or I watched in a video that album listeners, like there's an art to it. Like how the song starts in the beginning and to the end, the middle. Like there's a storytelling for sure. Whoever's listening to this, if you're an album listener, you should try it. If you understand me, and if you ever not a album listener, you should try it. Because like me before, I wasn't like that. I just tried to skip it. But I don't know how I found out how to do it. But you just play the album for a week straight without skipping, even if you don't like the song. And as time goes by, like you will like the song that you hate, you like it. You will really like it, and you will appreciate the album, and you will appreciate like, oh, so this is the beat, how the beat this, how it happened like this. And also, like before, I don't like listen to the beats. Now I listen to the beats. I used to make beats before, but not professionally, just like dabble whatever. But yeah, you can listen to the beats, how it happened. There's art to it. Like when you listen to a song, the beat, how it's composed, like there's an art to it. Like what are they trying to say, the lyrics and everything. But yeah, so when I was driving, I was playing some albums, Filipino songs, like new 21 Savage new album, Dogs album. There was a lot, and a lot of throwback albums. So I really like appreciate that, from a moment in while driving, I have the time to listen to an album, like really genuinely like appreciate an album. It's like watching a movie. Like, cause now I don't even have time to play video games. I have a Switch. I'm not even using it for how many months now. Like I have a Netflix account, I have a Hulu account. I don't even have time to, and I'm not an introvert. I am an extrovert. I'm always out and about. And when I'm like really like, like in social media, I like freaking, just I like searching stuff. Like Google is my best friend. Like I just search whatever random things in my head. My head is like a Rubik's cube, so I search some stuff. What else? I go to Instagram. Instagram is my jam. TikTok, watch some TikToks, watch some YouTube, watch some listen to podcasts, like video podcasts, YouTubers that I've been watching for how many years. So I only do that when like I have the downtime. But yeah, it was really nice, listening to like albums, music, discovering new artists. So that was really nice, when I was doing that drive. And then after 2 hours, like I kind of getting too sleepy because at that time it was already like, so if I drove at 5 p.m., that was like maybe around 7 or 8, and you get like tired a little bit, and it's like nighttime. And what I realized, like I was just randomly listening to music, and I like really like turn off the like lower the volume and just absorb the silence while I'm driving. And when I was driving, there was no people, there was no nothing, and I felt like, man, like, so this is how it feels like nobody's talking to you. You're just alone, and nothing. Like, it was just pure total silence. And for a moment, like, I was like just enjoying it. Like, at first it was really uncomfortable because I like talking to people. But yeah, the drive was really, when that silent hits, I'm even thinking it right now, like the feeling of that. But it made me like realize like some things, like reflecting from the past, what I'm thankful for, of my journey, of the things that I've done. And what really hits me with that silence is, like what my goals are, what I need to fix in my life. There was a lot of like self reflection and self realization. There was a lot of like self talk, and it was like a kind of like a form of like meditation in a way. And I feel like that I really needed that silence, because our lives is always like the hustle bustle. Wake up, go to work. Maybe if you have kids, you need to take care of kids, or you just ignore the things. And that's when I realized, I'm like, is this how meditation works? Like, because meditation works, you should, what I know is, you should like try to like just being silent, take a deep breath, and just try to not to think of your problems, and just focus on the things that just be like totally like your mind is out. So at that time, I was just thinking like deep stuff, realization. And then like I'm like, what, like I've realized that, I need to do this year. I'm thankful for this, I'm grateful for this. I think I've realized like some mistakes, or like what I can do better. And I don't know, it is in a moment, it put me in like a trance in a way, where like I didn't even like notice, and all I can do is just thinking, and I'm looking at the dark like dark road. And at that time too, it was raining, so it's making me more think. And it was like raining a little bit, it was pouring rain. And then yeah, so that experience was really good. So imagine, I listened to an albums. Like, it made me more creative, it made me appreciate it more, it made me have time to sit down and listen to something that I like, or like albums I never tried, or music I never tried. And then suddenly I have this self-reflection on things. And then after that, I went and read some audiobooks. What I mean read is like I was, what do you call this? I was doing the audiobooks. I'm more of audiobooks, and sometimes it makes me sleepy. But I don't know. From that time, I feel like it was really like really nice listening to an audiobook. And you should, if you ever listen to an audiobook, choose something that you really like. Or like if you're having a long drive, don't choose something that's like super like history or whatever. Like like learn something. What I've listened is like this book. It's called what do you call this? The by Mel Robbins, the 5 minute, 5 minute, what is it? 5 seconds rule. Like that. Or like how to be more sufficient or be confident, or how to talk to people. I don't know. I have some list of my books. If you ever listen to this podcast, you can DM me like, oh, what books do you read or whatever, like what audio books you learn. And I'm not like a book reader. Like when I read a book, I feel sleepy, man. So I like audiobooks. But what I've learned, like if you choose a book that you really like, you won't be feel sleepy. Sometimes you might, if you're not really like a reader, but you should try audiobooks. And like what I really want to do too is, just I have the physical book and have the audiobook. So the audiobook I listen to and I just follow in the book. I never tried it before, but I would do that. But anyways, yeah, finish some audiobooks here and there, and I also finish a lot of podcasts, man. Like, I wanna get better at podcasts. I like, like thinking about topics about the podcast. And my podcast is just honestly, like I don't really expect like this to blow up or whatever. It's just a creative how do you call this, a creative outlet for me. Everybody, I don't know, if you're a creative person, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, you need to have a creative outlet. It's just people doing TikTok, doing this, and hopefully down the line, it will benefit me. But at the same time, I always have this concept since like when I was maybe 18 years old. I had this concept in my mind that I want to, like make a digital footprint of my life. It's not even for my, for fame or whatever, or for whatever, what, like it's just for family, or when I leave this earth, or if I have kids, I would have that history, you know, if I leave this earth, like I have the history that I'm gonna leave for my friends, for my family. I can reflect on my life. I can listen to this podcast and be like, oh, that's what I did before. I want to look back because I did like vlogs before, and this one will like it helps you reminisce, in a way, and make history. That's how I see it. But yeah, so imagine I finished so much, man. Like album listening, freaking podcast listen, learn a lot. I like learning about game. What I mean game, like how to be confident with women or some shit like that, or like how to dress better, or like how to talk to people more. I've learned so much, like listening to podcasts and listening to like audiobooks, man. Like before I don't believe my dad, like, oh, you should read books. Sometimes my dad is a reader. You should read books because sometimes it will help you in your life, but sometimes it doesn't click. But if you really like read or like listen to something that you really like, it clicks sometimes. Like if something happens to you, it clicks, and you're like, oh, you know what, wow. So yeah, self-reflection, audiobooks, finish a lot. And at the same time, like I was enjoying like just being alone. And then after that, I felt a little bit like sleepy in a way. And then it was raining. There was it was a difficult like pathway that was driving, and but I still appreciate of just being alone. And like, I don't know, man, it's just like so different, man. In all my life, I'm not alone. I'm an only child, but I'm not like alone, but this one like really hit me like, like good, like, like you think a lot of stuff, man. But anyways, and then I went on a break. I needed to pee, and I went to this like, it's not even like a gas station. It's just like you stop over and it's just a restaurant, very dark, whatever. And I realized, I'm like, wow, this is like amazing. Like, I'm having my own adventure right now. I'm having my own lane. I'm doing the things I feel like there was also a kind of like independence in a way that you are doing your own. You're on your own. You're doing alone. Because for me, like, I wanna, what's the feeling of, being like alone in a new city without your family, without your friends or whatever. Just you alone. And you now I understand, like, when you're alone, you need to really like try to survive. So that's what I felt when I had that break. I went to the restroom, and then after that I came out, I looked at my car parked, and that's what I felt like. So this is the feeling of being like independent, being alone, being need to survive, and you're just doing your own thing, and nobody knows that you are doing your own thing. So that's also I feel like a little bit of confidence in there. I feel like I also realize that what I need to work on myself, what I need to improve in myself. So it was really nice, man. So after that, and what I like the most too, like, I just pee, boom, whatever, boom. Like, I have my own like decision. I don't need to like wait for someone, or they went to the restroom, or somebody's hungry or whatever. Like, I've realized it's my own. I'm just my own jam. This is my own thing. And then, yeah, I started driving again, and then I was driving fast, man. Like, I was super driving fast. And what I've learned too, that I wanted to try, because I saw it on TikTok, like, if you're feeling sleepy, you need to they said like, oh, this I don't know if this is legit, but it really worked for me. So if you ever be having like some long drives and you're feeling like sleepy, and most of the time accidents happen when you're feeling sleepy, of course, or if you're drunk. But on this TikTok video, the guy was like, I think they thought that they were teaching them this, like, on the 80s, 70s, whatever. But basically, if you're feeling sleepy, you need to put your windows down. Like, put all your windows down. Like, that's not like all the way, but like put like maybe half away. And and then in my mind, I'm like, yeah, of course you're gonna like freaking be awake, because the air is gonna come in and you feel the cold, whatever. But no, there's a reason and there's a science behind it. But basically, the guy was saying like, when you close your window of your car, it what do you call this, it accumulates like carbon or monoxide. I'm sure, whatever, but it accumulates something, and that thing makes you sleepy. That's why it's better if you put on the AC on. But the AC on will also wake you up, because there's there's like air coming in, but at the same time the circulation is still not enough to remove all the carbon inside the car or whatever. So it's better, he said, like, to put down your windows, like, down all your windows down for 15 minutes and just drive. And I was on the freeway, it was raining a little bit, I put that windows down, and like, at first I didn't believe it, but he said, like, once you put it down, like, inhale, exhale, the air, and it really worked, man. So now you guys should try it. When you ever have a long drive, try that. Like, it's legit. And I freaking, like, I really, like, it worked for me. And I had an energy drink. I bought an energy drink. I bought potato chips, whatever. I also chocolate. Chocolate made me made me awake at the trip. And but yeah, that worked. So you should try it. So I realized that's legit. In a way. And then what else I've done? I always wanted to, like, just shout in the car like a crazy person. And also I was like, woo, skirt, skirt, like, yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, what's up, bruh, 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 like that. That was fun. What else? um I was singing my heart out. I was singing like a crazy person. But anyways, before I end this podcast, like, when I reached my goal, it felt like, so this is the achievement. I feel like I was so amazing. It was an achievement for me, and I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel proud of myself that I did something. It's like the way I see it is, I felt like it was like a roller coaster ride, or it's like the struggle, and you made it. And then I saw my friend, gave him a hug. I was fully awake, and I don't know what I observed too. Like, even at work, when you feel sleepy at work, sometimes, but when you get out of work, I don't know, at some shape or form, I just suddenly have a burst of energy. I don't. It always happened like that. Even if when I went to school before, after I finish, school, I get that, burst of energy. But it's the same thing when I finish my drive. It was also it was a burst of energy when I saw my friend hug it out. And yeah, I reached the hotel, and hotel was nice. It was good. And yeah, and after that, I went to the bed, rest. And while I'm looking up in the ceiling, I realized, what? This I've realized a lot. This what I need to do. It just gave me a mental, like, switch. Like, it switched me in a way. So now I want to, like, try to do maybe a solo travel one of these days. Like, I'm traveling solo, but what I mean, like, when I travel solo, I still like when I went to New York, I met up with a friend, or when I went to the other side. I'm traveling solo, but at my destination, I have someone there, But now I wanted to try, like, just be solo and do my own thing, like, do my do whatever I want, So that also made me realize I need to, like, do that in a way. But yeah, if you ever want to do it, like traveling alone or driving alone, you should do it. So now I'm a, I w- I don't know, I just realized a lot of things. And I even told my friend, I'm like, man, I realize so much. I feel like I'm a different man. Like a switch just switch. But yeah, so that's, you should try it one of these days. Drive alone. So now I'm open to, like, traveling alone. And I also have a bucket list where, like, I want to travel, like, alone with a bunch of strangers. That's another goal of mine. And I already saw a website. It's called Kontiki. I'm not even sponsored, but it's called Kontiki, where you travel with a bunch of strangers that you don't ever know. So yeah, I felt like at that travel, I feel like I I don't know, a soul or like a switch, or my mind just like leveled up. I feel like I was leveling up. But yeah, I encourage you to do it. That's my what I've learned. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. This is Strawberry Jams podcast. I appreciate y'all for listening to this podcast. We are like around 6,000 impressions and gaining more listeners, and I appreciate y'all. Thank you for listening, and I'm your host, Monday Sauce. Bye.